Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I am watching the Scream films. I planned a marathon to watch all six films because I'm embarrassed to say I only watched the first four in the cinema, and I at some point disconnected and I didn't catch the fifth film and the sixth film. So I was going to watch them all. I was going to start at like 7 o'clock and go all the way through the night, watch them all. I didn't start till about 9:45, and they all go for about an hour and 50 minutes, so it wasn't happening. So I stopped at four. So I just rewatched the first like four films because the first three were sort of planned as a trilogy, but they did do a fourth film. Just spoilers. Now, the first two films are pretty epic, and they came out a year after each other. 1996, December 1996, and December 1997. I think I saw it early, 2098. I think there was a bit of a delay in Australia. I remember it being a 1998 film, but it did open in December 1997. It made 172 million, so just 1 million less than the first Scream film, which is pretty good. It did cost 10 million more, but that's because they had a lot of actors, a lot of people came back and wanted to be paid more, and a lot of people want to be in the film, so I think they spent more on the cast. Now, the third film cost 40 million, and it made 161.8 million, so a little drop off, but still within 10 million, so that's pretty good. And it was sort of advertised as a trilogy, and in the film they talk about trilogies, which don't happen very often in horror films, horror franchises. And it's based in Hollywood, basically, where they are making another stab film, and people start getting killed around that film. And this is all about Hollywood. The first sort of film was set in a small town. The second film was set on college campus. This film is set in Hollywood, and that's probably why the budget's a bit bigger. They have a bunch of cameos, some hilarious ones. I'm not going to go through them all. There's too many, and I'm honestly mixing up who cameoed in which film. So when I do my franchise review, I'm going to go through all the people who cameoed, because some of them I was like, really? I don't remember them, because some of them weren't even stars yet, but they were just sort of coming up in that. Now, this all sort of ends up being about Sydney's mother, Maureen. That someone's killing someone and leaving photos of her at each scene. So Sydney eventually comes back. Sydney had been hiding out, doing manning like a call centre for abused women, and basically living out in the middle of nowhere in witness protection program and that with her father. She eventually comes back because they work out where she is. She gets a scream call, basically, so she ends up going to help Courtney and Dewey, and I love him. David Arquette is so cute in these films. I don't like white guys, but he's really cute in this. And the fact that him and Courtney Cox got together and married on this film, it was beautiful while they were together to watch the films and to see that romance happen was really nice. But I'm watching it now, I'm like, oh, that's right, they actually ended up divorcing eventually. So for a few decades there, though, it was a nice romance story within the film that you're aware of when you're watching the film that, happened in real life. But, so eventually we get to, it's a sort of same sort of scenario where we have the main characters are back, we hope they survive. It's a new killer, we don't know who it is, so there's a murder mystery, and there are clues. And when you watch it, I honestly couldn't remember who the killer was in this third film. So it helped. But I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that now. And again, it's a relative of someone who's in an earlier film, so there's always a family sort of relationship at this point. And I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't actually watched it, because I doubt anyone's going to watch this review before they watch the film, but sometimes people do that. It's not who you think it is, but basically Sydney's mother went to Hollywood for a couple of years to become an actress, and she was abused by some producers and so forth, and she left, but she ended up she ends up having a child, and then that child is sort of abandoned by her and wants recognition and revenge. So that might ruin it for you if you haven't seen it, but I'm not sure. But it plays out fairly well. The last part of the film is set in some big Hollywood mansion where there's like hidden rooms and everything, and it's a bit convoluted, but it works. And everyone survives. You want to survive. You do have a chance of working out who the killer is, but it does make sense either way, and everything pays off fairly well. And it's a really good movie, and it's a great trilogy, and it could have ended there, and it was supposed to end there. we all thought it was going to end there. I saw it and I thought, okay, that was great. That was great. I wasn't expecting a fourth film, but this film still made a lot of money, and I think 10 years later we got another film, because this film was done in 2000, February 2000, so not quite 3 Scream films in 3 years. It was like 1 year, and then like a year and like a couple of months. So it didn't open in December 1999, which would have been 96, 97. And I did skip 2 years, so it was 2 years. But pretty well, pretty much almost every year we got a new Scream film for a while there. And it was great. But then that was supposed to be the end, and it was basically a decade before we got the fourth film, which that was part of the story. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Scream 1, 2, and 3 and the trilogy. Should it have been left a trilogy? I don't know. I'm going to go review the fourth film. I liked it, but they could have just done a trilogy.